Good morning children, Sairam. Today we'll have the revision of chapter number 6, An Education in Science. The author of this chapter is Stephen William Hawking. Children, I have taught this lesson in detail. You have to go through the old videos to understand the lesson in detail. Okay, there I have discussed all the new words, phrases and explained the lesson. So today we'll just have the summary of the lesson and the textual grammar. So let us go through the value points. This is an extract from Stephen Hawking's Black Holes and Baby Universes and other essays. Here he reflects on the present state of science. Science and technology are changing the world rapidly, but are they in the right direction? He says it is very important for the people to have basic understanding of science. In schools, science is taught by rote memory without any relevance to the world around, as it is taught in terms of equations. He even gives tips to improve scientific temperament of people with the help of television. He also speaks about the horrors of nuclear war and tells people to put pressure on governments to reduce arms. He believes that if we manage to avoid nuclear war, there are still other dangers that could destroy us all. However, he ends in a positive note that he has faith in good sense of public. Now we will discuss RTC questions. One I have already discussed in the old video, one I have given in homework and one I have given in notes. So this was given as homework. The major powers have behaved in a reasonably responsible way so far, but one cannot have such confidence in minor powers. What have the major powers been responsible about? They have been responsible about the way they use nuclear power. Which minor powers does the writer refer to here? He refers to powers like Libya or Iraq, Pakistan or even Azerbaijan. Why does the author use the words so far here? He uses the words so far because he is not sure that they will continue to do so. So what they will continue to do so? Whether they will be responsible enough for controlling the war. Now answer in short. These questions were also given to you for homework, but now I am giving you the answers. So with this, all the question answers will be completed. Why do some people wish to stop scientific progress? They wish to stop scientific progress so that they can go back to a simpler and purer age. Why does the public distrust science? The public distrusts science because it does not understand it. Now we will have the vocabulary from your textbook, which is in page number 61 and 62. Here compound words are discussed. Compound words are formed when two or more words are put together to form a new word with a new meaning. For example, sidewalk is combination of side plus walk. Fireworks is a combination of fire plus works. As you see, each of these words is a combination of two words. They are called closed compound words as there is no space between the two sets of words. Some compound words also use hyphen or dash to separate the two words. So these are called hyphenated compound words. For example, full time. So here you see there is a hyphen given here, right? So full time is a hyphenated word, and here life size, because a hyphen, a small dash is given. Certain compound words have space in between them and are called open compound words. They are also compound words, but they leave a space. So example, child care, time saver. Okay, so here these two words are also compound words. Now match these words in column A with those in column B to form suitable compound words. Now on the textbook the question is given, but here I have given you the answer itself. Okay, so basket, you know, basketball, right? So anybody. Then sun, sunflower. These are all compound words, right? Up, upstream. Grass, grasshopper. Play, playthings. Grand, so grandfather. Fire, firefighter. High, high rise. Note, notebook. Key, keyboard. Next we have antonyms, that is opposite words. Find antonyms of these words. First one, modern, ancient. Majority, minority. Inform, misinform. Steady, unsteady. Produce, destroy. Rapid, slow. Inform, misinform. Relevance, irrelevance. Destroy, create. Entire, partial. So here children, destroy you can write create or produce also, right? So both are correct. Next we have grammar part. Okay, following things are discussed here in this lesson, and I have also discussed all these verbs in the verb videos. I had discussed in 2 verbs videos all these types of verbs, right? That is finites, non-finites, gerund, infinitive, participles, that is present and past participle. Now read these sentences. Let us discuss so that you can be thorough with that. I live in Japan. Romina sings the national anthem during the function. So here, what do you find? Where is the finite verb, children? Yes, live and sings. Now these finite verbs, they change with the change in tense, person and number. I have already discussed with you. So here with I, it is live, right? Here. And Romina sings. Romina is third person singular number, so sings. So live, sings. So I live, you live, he lives. So they change. Romina sings, he sings. Okay, I sing. So here these are finite verbs because they change with the change in tense, person and number. Now read these sentences. I dislike climbing trees. Romina loved to sing the national anthem during the function. Now what changes you see, children? In these sentences, climbing and to sing are non-finite verbs, as they do not change irrespective of the change in tense or number. So, I dislike climbing trees, or she disliked climbing trees. So, word this climbing will be same. It will not change. Romina loved to sing, or I loved to sing. That means to sing, this is non-finite. These non-finite verbs They do not change, even if you change the number or person. Now let us do the exercise from your textbook, page number 63 to 67. Underline the finite verbs and circle the non-finite verbs in these sentences. So here I have underlined the finite verbs but highlighted in red color the non-finite verbs. You can underline the finite verbs on the textbook and circle the non-finite. Okay. I like to play with my cat. So here like is finite, to play non-finite. The boy saved the puppy from the wolves. So saved is finite verb. He wants to start a blog. Wants finite, to start non-finite. The teacher is working hard to help her students do better. Is working is finite. It is telling you the tense, right? To help is non-finite. Talking is prohibited in the library. Talking, non-finite. Is prohibited, finite. The teacher asked the students to submit their homework. Asked, finite. To submit, non-finite. My mother knows how to bake cakes. Knows, finite. To bake, non-finite. He went to the mountains to find some peace. Went, finite. To find, non-finite. She works hard to do well. Works, finite. To do, non-finite. I have finished my homework. Have finished, finite. The broken vase lay scattered on the ground. Lay, finite. He kept me waiting. Kept, finite. Waiting, non-finite. The play was interesting. Was, finite. The pricing of goods depends a lot on its demand. Depends, finite. So you have learnt that there are three kinds of non-finite verbs. They are gerund, infinitive, participle. Let us look at these sentences. Cycling is her hobby. I am tired of complaining. So here the form of a verb that ends in ing and acts like a noun and a verb simultaneously is called a gerund. Okay, so here what do you find? Cycling is though forming from verb, it does the work of a noun. So what is her hobby? Cycling. I am tired of what? Complaining. So you ask the question what? You get gerund. A gerund is also used as a verbal noun, for it can take an object like a verb. For example, singing is a wonderful hobby. So here it is working as a subject. I like singing. And here singing is an object. I like what? So here it is working as an object. So gerund can be in the place of subject, object, and also object of preposition. Now let us do the exercise. Fill in the blanks with the ing forms of suitable verbs given in the help box. The words are harvest, attend, go, watch, read, walk, give, paint. So you have to change it accordingly. Stephen loves dash television. So the word is given here watch. So what will you write? Watching, right? The author is good at dash speeches. So word is given there give. So you have to write giving speeches. I like dash books on science. The word is given in the help box, read. So you will write reading. Dash is good for you. Walking is good for you. I love dash the walls. The word given in the help box, paint. I love painting the walls. Anita always dreams about dash on a holiday. So the word is go there, right? So what will you write? Going. Dash is done in this season. The word there is harvest. So what will you write? Harvesting. We talked about dash the sports meet. So here attend is given in the help box. So what will you write? Attending. Now see this sentence. I want to learn salsa. Sheena wants to learn classical music. So want is finite and to learn is non-finite. Okay. So an infinitive can be used as a noun, an adjective or an adverb. Infinitives are also used when we wish to state an aim or a purpose. Manish called to congratulate me. They agreed to consider our proposal. So we also use infinitives when we wish to indicate result. My grandmother lived to see me enjoy success in my chosen profession. Sometimes infinitives can also be used without to. So that is called as bare infinitive. You should decide quickly. You can do the work easily. Now these words always use without to, right? Which are the verbs? Agree, promise, learn, plan, refuse, fail, hope, offer, ask, beg, decide. They forgot to water the plants yesterday. So, forgot, finite, to water, non-finite. We often use two infinitives after these verbs. Agree, promise, learn, plan, refuse, fail, hope, offer, ask, beg, decide. They forgot to water the plants yesterday. Forgot, finite, and to water, infinitives. Masha offered to pick us up from theatre tomorrow. Offered, finite verb, to pick, infinitive. They hope to reach the play on time. Hope, finite, to reach, infinitive. Now join these sets of sentences using infinitives. She carries an umbrella. It protects her from rain. So these two sentences you have to join with to, right? She carries an umbrella to protect her from rain. Raman speaks the truth. He is not afraid of it. Raman is not afraid to speak the truth. We heard of his promotion. We were happy for that. We were happy to hear about his promotion. He collects antique paintings. It is his hobby. So what will you write? It is his hobby to collect antique paintings. Farah has carried her bag. She will fill it with vegetables. Farah has carried her bag to fill it with vegetables. Sohail is going to Mumbai. He will join the Management Institute there. Sohail is going to Mumbai to join the Management Institute there. The water is very cold. I cannot drink it. The water is too cold to drink. The mountain is very high. We cannot climb it. The mountain is too high to climb. Now participles are of two kinds, present and past. We met a boy carrying a basket of peaches. Hearing the noise, she woke up. So here, hearing and carrying are both present participles. As they have been used as verbs and adjectives, connected to the italicized nouns and pronouns. Present participle is another type of a non-finite verb, always ending in ing. It represents actions that are going on or are incomplete. So present participle is tells you the process is going on, the work is going on, that is ing. Duped by the local thug, he lost all his savings. We saw a few men bent by the weight of heavy parcels. Now here the verbs bent and duped are past participles that have been used as verbs and adjectives, modifying the pronoun and noun. Past participle forms of verbs usually end in ed, t, or n. They describe actions that have been completed. Past participles, just like present participles, can be used as adjectives or used to form verb tenses. Fill in the blanks with the past tense or past participle forms of the verbs given in the brackets. He has dash his own partner for the game. Select, selected, you have to write. He would have dash his work after the holidays, but he fell ill. Resume is given. So you have to write resumed. Has the question been answered? B is given. You have to write been. He waited for the train with patience. Await is given. So you have to write waited. The apples were bought by a boy. Buy is given. So write bought. This incident occurred last year. Occurred is given, so you have to write occurred. The song was dashed by Alice and her sister. Sing, sung, you have to write. The food has been dashed by the children. You have to write eaten. He was properly dashed with by the police. Deal is given, so properly dealt with. I dash my classes regularly in school. Attend is given, attended. He dashed to England, so you can't meet him now. Go is given, so went. The children had dashed away before the teacher arrived. Run is given, so had is given, so had run. Read these sentences. The playing girls raced up the hill. Playing is full of fun. So in the first sentence, playing takes the place of an adjective. Hence it is participle. Playing girls. Noun is there after that. In the second sentence, playing takes the place of a noun as a subject. Hence it is a gerund. The difference between present participle and a gerund. Walking along the road, he noticed a porcupine. And here, walking is present participle. The old man was tired of walking. Tired of what? Walking. So, gerund. Sitting for hours, Sheena finished her project. Present participle. Sheena likes sitting in her armchair. Gerund. Watching television, Shija sat on the beanbag. Watching here, present participle. And here, Shija likes watching television. So, watching what? Here, likes what? Shija likes watching television. Likes what? Watching. Okay? So, here it is gerund. Now, underline the gerunds and circle the participles in these sentences. So, again children, what I have done? I have underlined the gerunds and I have highlighted the participles. Underline the gerunds and circle the participles in these sentences. So I have underlined the gerunds and highlighted the participles. My little sister's favorite hobby is painting. So painting is gerund. The police arrested Ranu for speeding. So, speeding, gerund. Opening the letter, he let out a cry of disbelief. So, opening is here participle. Swimming keeps me fit and healthy. Swimming, gerund. Her family appreciates her talent for singing. Singing is gerund. Before leaving the house, we always check if all lights are off. So, leaving is participle. Reading in poor light will affect the eyes. Reading, gerund. Driving to the school, Dhruv found a lost pup on the road. Driving is participle. Reena is afraid of hurting your feelings. Hurting is participle. Singing to herself is Monisha's chief delight. Singing is here participle. Here we come to the end of today's session. Chapter number 6, revision as well as the textual grammar we discussed. So complete your textbook if you have, or write the answers in the book. And also refer to the old videos, children. Thank you. Have a nice day.